All right.
Great.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Navigating New Narratives with Cheyenne and Raynell. Tonight or today, or whenever you're watching this, it's tonight right now for us. We have two incredibly special guests to us coming on the show. We've known them for a very long time. Raynell's known Kate since high school. I've known I knew Kate in active addiction as well. I've known Ryan very well through active addiction. We were very close. To see them get sober is has been an amazing thing to see. They have a powerful story, and their story is one of like love and overcoming addiction and recovery. So we're really excited to hear what they have to say. Um, yeah, so with that being said, why don't you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about your history as a couple, kind of how you met, and yeah, like what does your life look like now?
Great question.
Okay,
Giver.
so I'm Ryan.
Yes.
Um, how this is Kate, my beautiful spouse. We've been together for 6 years now. Um, we met, we actually met a couple of times. The first time I met Kate was at St. Vincent. You guys remember St.
We,
Vincent?
we know St.
Um,
Yeah.
she, yes, so she was there. I rolled in there like I did a few times a night or a few times a week for whatever I had to do or pick up or drop off. And she was in the bedroom sleeping or trying to sleep because she had a heck of a headache. And we talked. We just sat there and chatted. And it was just a nice conversation with someone who I just met. And I just felt this strange sensation that something was happening inside of me towards her at that moment. And I kind of, that was that. It was a kind of a fleeting feeling. And I left, said goodbye. We chatted probably for 20 minutes or so. And poof, I never saw her again for 2 years
Wow.
until, yeah, until 6 years ago. I was actually in and out of town working. So I was kind of on the road to recovery. I was clean and I would relapse and, I would then, uh, it would get deeper and worse, harder. And then somehow I would pull out of there. I'd clean up a bit and then go out of town, work or what have you, and then relapse and just this cycle. I couldn't seem to break the cycle.
So I was also in that situation as well. Very up and down, sober, not sober, and just for months, right? And
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
this time frame.
Uh, yeah, absolutely. So we were both kind of fighting with recovery and full on addiction.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a tumultuous time, right? It was just bizarre. So anyways, just um we I went to this place on Hotter Avenue to meet with someone,
Yeah.
and I walked down there chit chat and I turn around and I see Kate standing there. And I'm looking, I'm like, and I couldn't believe it, right? And I,
And I'm looking.
yeah. So she's looking at me and I'm looking at her and I'm like, and we're all like in civilian, like nice clothes. So, like clearly we just were clean, a day or two or a few days prior, you know what I mean? And this is kind of the slip back into this world again, right?
Yeah.
So you could tell we're both relatively laundered clothes
Yeah.
and healthy from eating and stuff like that, right? Hydrated. So
Yeah.
so anyways, I'm like, are you? And I was in shock. I couldn't remember her name. I'm like,
I couldn't remember his name
yeah,
either.
we were just like, we knew who we were, each other was. And like, I said, well, what's going on? What are you doing? Who are you here? And I just said, you're coming with me.
Mm,
Yeah.
And I took her with me. We went, touring around, doing the tours,
Doing the tours.
yes, yes. We all know the
and I basically, yeah, and I
Yeah.
basically, I never let her go. Like the risk
Yeah.
of sounding like I kidnapped her, I didn't. I just said, you're, yeah, and it was pretty. It was interesting to say the least. Like it was just, I kind of felt comfortable with her right away.
Mhm.
And
As I did with you as well.
well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good to
Yeah.
know.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you, honey.
you're welcome, dear.
So of course now it was a novelty because here we are, we actually like hanging out with each other, but now we also liked doing dope
Yeah.
Mhm.
and, you know, doing that world together. And the difference for me now was I had someone, a ride or die with me that we was evolving into a real ride or die,
Yeah.
so we just kept growing, learning about each other. Meanwhile, like that, the whole time of being in that world and that lifestyle, and we just, I guess, started, falling in love with each other.
Yeah.
So um, it went for quite some time, and we obviously tried being clean together. So
Yeah, we
you
did.
know how that would roll is you'd party till you run out
Yeah.
and you sleep for 2 days and now you're clean. Now
Yeah.
you're sober, not clean, but you're sober. So
Yeah.
you have two choices, right?
Yeah.
Use
Yeah.
or continue being sober.
Yeah.
We also lived in a basement apartment who the person who owned the house did drugs. So there's constantly drug use still upstairs
Yeah.
and people coming in and out and knocking on your door. Here's some stuff
Yeah.
after you just woke up after 2 days and you're like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
all right,
Yeah.
like here we go again, right? So that was a huge
that was definitely, yeah, it was difficult
yes.
to achieve any sort of sobriety in that environment.
Yeah.
So we talked about, you know what? Let's move. Let's move out of the city. I think that's the first default a lot of us would think of is get away from everybody and the problem will go away, which we all know that's not the case.
Not the
It's
long-term
not
For
your,
some people,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, we have to address some other issues before we just move away.
Right.
I could honestly say that I did drugs in every country I've been to and every major city in Canada and the US
Yeah.
over 30-year span.
Yeah.
So being in a different location does not matter.
No.
It's there, right? It's you, it's not the city. So we decided, okay, well, let's hit this head on in Thunder Bay,
Yeah.
right? And fight to get clean.
Yeah.
So we looked at doing that together, meaning, like you guys said, the narrative dictates that it's usually you got to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
100%. That is the reality.
Yeah.
You need to want to do it, period.
Yeah.
She wanted to do it. And we wanted to be together. And I think that one of the factors for our success was, and still is, that we communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And if either one of us, the first, it's tough. It's tough all along
Definitely.
because we have these memories of that lifestyle. Those memories just don't disappear. The
Right.
same way we have good memories and memories of all kinds of highlights in our life, those memories come back to you in flashes, but you don't worry about those ones.
Right.
It's the memories of that life that hits you in a flash that you have to really protect yourself from.
Yes.
So,
That's a huge key because like sometimes I get flashbacks and I'm like, holy man, like, right, like this is happening or whatever, right? And it's easy to talk to him because he's been there, he's done that, and he's not judging me. He's just like, yeah, like I
Yeah.
get like that too, or whatever. But it's super helpful for me. And I know it is for him that it's just like communication and we can just talk it out or whatever. Because there's still times, where you're just like, oh, that happened there or whatever. And then you just get
Yeah.
flashbacks or whatever,
And I feel
right?
like
yeah.
it,
So,
I feel like it'd be a different shared experience than two addicts who were in a world separate from each other coming together. Like my fiance is a recovered addict, but we don't have a connection of the same shared experiences. So with you guys, it
history.
yeah, you have that history. So you really can connect in that way, where you know what you're talking about, who you're talking about, the circumstance that's being talked about. So it's probably a lot easier to work it out together, in that way and just say, I really do understand how you feel, like, because I was there.
Yes.
Yeah, I did it too. Yeah. So, um,
Yeah. 100%.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think Raynell, if you want to ask yeah. So like start from there, like,
Okay, so I'm just gonna move on to like the next kind of question on what we're gonna go into. So can you tell us a little bit about your like individual struggles, or your stories with addiction and yeah, a little bit of like
and the
separately.
addiction world. So like I'll ask Ryan's and you can ask Kate. So like
Yeah.
I like for you, my question for you, Ryan, was like how your addiction came about. Because you were saying like for the past 30 years. And then because me and you were like I knew you almost my entire time out on the streets and in addiction, that I know that you experienced a lot of really scary situations just like I did and were around a lot of scary people and the lifestyle. Like you were very involved in the lifestyle. So like can you tell us kind of about that and how your addiction came about and what it felt like for you to be around that world, like because I know a lot of people don't really know a lot about that world, like it's kind of a scary place and maybe for some young people out there that are starting out, they don't know where that world can lead you or just how dangerous it
Oh
can be.
yeah,
Yeah, so if you can
yeah,
talk to us a
a
little
hundred
bit about that.
percent. Right.
Yeah.
So for me, um, being a being a pseudo popular guy in high school and having a group of friends who are all very robust and um, larger than life type people,
Yeah.
drinking was commonplace. It was promoted. It was accepted. It was everywhere. So at 16, 17, 18 years old, I was drinking constantly, as was all my buddies. And at about 19, I started working in a nightclub, in a bar. So my peer group changed from my high school buddies to guys that were 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 years older than me.
Yeah.
And these guys, I would hang out with them. So different things were introduced, right? One of them being cocaine.
Yeah.
So at 19, I started dabbling with that. And it's essentially not much different than anyone else that is in the party scene or is just, a weekend warrior or what have you. We've all kind of been down that same path. And I think that for myself, I didn't realize at a young age that I was addicted.
Right.
I thought I could turn it off anytime. And
Mhm.
I think that's the caveat that most people don't realize is it's a huge underlying issue that'll overtake you without you even knowing.
Right.
Yeah.
So fast forward 30 years, let's say 25 years of using on and off, on and off. And I had a few pretty bad events throughout that time in my previous marriage. Like there was times where stress got to me, and next thing you know, I went and picked some stuff up and cooked it up, and 3 days later, come home with my tail between my legs, begging for forgiveness, and my spouse couldn't figure out why or what's going on, and at that point in my life, I realized that something's got a hold of me here.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until my divorce, and that threw me, well, when you and I met, that's kind of was
Yeah.
that component of my world.
Yeah.
And I was very bitter and angry and everything else. And that was the fallback. For
Yeah.
me, it was I did it to numb the sound, numb the pain in my head, right? And it essentially just spooled up into a huge machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in my normal life, I'm a pretty I want to say larger than life kind of guy, a business owner, very aggressive in that environment, know lots of people, lots of contacts, kind of want to be on top of the game.
Yeah.
That transcended into that world where that's where it led me into doing what I did.
Yeah.
Because once I blew through hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Yep.
well, now there was no more money. I had to finance my
Right.
my goal, which was completely to get fucked up. That
Yeah.
was my goal. It was a selfish goal, and all that mattered to me was 100% selfish, do as much dope as I can. And yeah, it just spiraled me into the abyss of that world. And I was at the center of it
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah. 100%.
And I rolled with a lot of bad dudes,
Yeah.
but we were all bad dudes.
Right.
There was not one bad worse than the other. We were all equally bad.
Yeah.
Just some people grew up in that world. I didn't grow up in that world, but
Exactly.
I was 100% involved in that world. Yeah, scary situations, several, many,
Yeah.
many, many, many. I was telling um, Kate the other day, I said, one weekend there was 5 people that died in that weekend, and I was with them within an hour of them dying, each one of those 5 in that weekend. How does that happen?
Right.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, and still walked out of it because I was there, I was there, I was there, I was there. Like,
Yeah.
um, and then of course, like, uh, it gets heavier, harder, deeper,
Yeah.
and the more connected you get,
Yep.
the more out there you are,
Right.
the more vulnerable you are,
Yep.
right? And you don't know what kind of person you're going to meet next,
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and you could only be conscious and awake for so long, and then next thing you know, how many times,
Very
like,
true. Very true. And
right?
and you talking about, being in those situations, those 5 situations and getting out of it, I can relate to that so much because how many times I could have died or the things that I've seen, like very evil, violent things. And to say that I walked out of those situations is by the grace of God. Like it's a miracle. So I don't think people really do know the amount of that world has its own set of rules. And if you don't know how to play by those set of rules, you can get yourself into situations that you were never meant to be in. And like you said, some people grow up in them, so they really understand it. And some people, like myself, you, Kate,
You know,
like we never grew up in it. So we had to learn
no, they
very,
know how to survive in it.
yeah,
Yeah, they know how to survive in it. We had to learn how to survive in it.
exactly, exactly.
And with me doing that as long as I did, I have world experience for decades prior to when we were all in the same circle, from downtown New Westminster and downtown Vancouver in the mid 90s dealing.
Yeah,
That's how far back I go in that type of environment. So
yeah,
there was obviously I had some street smarts about me. And I think that plus my physical stature, my name, there was a bunch of things that
yeah,
carried me through that world at that level.
right.
Because I'm sure there was a lot of people wanting to cut me down many times.
Yeah,
But I want to say this that I know myself, I walked out of there at the end of the day with more people that liked and respected me than
100%.
disliked and disrespected me.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
And that's because I treated people nice,
yes, you did.
like humans.
Yep, yeah, yep,
And I take great pride in that because, I think that I feel that I saved a lot of people.
yep,
If I saved one, I probably saved a few. And I know that I saved numerous lives from people that were in a situation they were um like a CPR'd more than about 22 people throughout that existence, right? And that's it's a lot of trauma to
yeah,
witness, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But also on the flip side, it was something that I know I did help people too, right?
So I
And I
want
think that helped me through it.
sorry. So I want to say something. And I'm one of those people and I know that you know what you did for me. Um the story that I've shared about when I was beat by four men, one of them being my ex at the Oddfellows. I called you and you came to get me at the shelter house and you were there for me. Like you didn't just pick me up and help me that night. I could call you and say like, "Hey, can you like just come see me? I'm not like cuz you were there. You knew how traumatized and paranoid I was after that. And you would just come hang out with me and just kind of make sure I was okay. And I remember a kind of a funny thing that you said when my face was healing very quickly, and you said, "What are you, a cyborg? Like, how do you heal so quick?" Just, kind of trying to make me feel better about it. And so, yeah, like you've been there for people, and you always were a very kind person, even in that world, and even with the scary don't mess with me persona. Like it wasn't even a persona because it was real,
Yeah.
but even with that it was like people still knew you were approachable and you were kind and you were a friend, like an actual friend, like a true friend that treated people with humanity and kindness even in that world. So yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up. Like I'm one of those people that you did that for, and I'm forever grateful for that. Although I always will be. So yeah, I don't know if you want to move on to Kate's question for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, so Kate and I have known each other for like a very long time since high school for sure.
It's
So
been a long time.
it's been a super long time. So I kind of just want to go into the same type of question that we just asked Ryan, like how your addiction kind of came about, like what are your experiences that kind of brought you into that world? Um, yeah.
Like, how did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go from the beginning. Um, so I grew up with beautiful parents, amazing parents, and so around like grade 8, I started smoking pot. And then the summer going into grade 9, that's when I hit my first high school parties and started drinking lots and then the ecstasy came about and the MDMA and obviously cocaine. There was more lines back then and foilies. Um, and then I really got into the opiates. I was really hard into the opiates. Started with perks, and then oxys, Heidi's, morphine, all that stuff. And um, then crack came along. Started smoking crack, and just kind of snowballed after like so many years. Like I had so many like clean time in that too. So it was very off and on, like clean time, and then something would happen and I would just totally snowball, right? And it's just bring back memories here. Sorry guys.
I'm going to interject real quick one thing.
Yeah.
We have been discussing and talking about this event tonight.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I had mentioned to Kate was I have purposely pushed all these memories out of my headspace,
Yeah.
as has she, as best as we can.
Yes.
And we asked ourselves, are we ready to bring up these conversations, these issues, these topics?
Right.
Like I honestly, and I don't mean to cut her off at all. I just wanted to interject because I wasn't sure. I honestly wasn't sure if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not about that I can't
Yeah.
or I'm incapable of it. It's such a vile lifestyle and such a horrible existence
Yep.
to even, yes, there was all kinds of times where there's smiles and happy,
Yeah.
genuine or not. There was a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I think that there is actually an anomaly because that time and space will never happen again, where the quality of the drugs was there, the people, the camaraderie.
Yeah.
It was like a different time in space where it was actually for probably 1 year out of that was a fun party. It
Yeah.
was fun. Like it as shitty as it was and as brutal as it was. I don't know if we just took solace in the fact that we had this underground family
We did.
that
We
we could all lean on. We all knew there was a circuit, there was a tight group circuit of literally 12 to 20 people that, and some drifters in and out of there, but there was like a core group of about 12 people that every other night ended up together.
Yep.
And almost every night so uh, anyways, I just wanted to bring that up that I wasn't sure if I was ready to talk about that world again.
Yeah. We've been so like out of this world for so long that
Yeah.
And I totally get
it's
that.
hard, man.
It really is. And it's hard for me too
It
because
is.
when I speak about it online, it does do a lot of damage to me. Like I don't think a lot of people realize the amount of anxiety and the amount of stress that it takes to relive these moments and not only just relive them, but to relive them so publicly. But what I've seen as the result of this is like the amount of inspiration that it gives others that are still stuck. And I don't think we realize how many people are still stuck in one way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Even if it's not them themselves affected by addiction, it's somebody in their family, it's their mom, it's their dad. And when they listen to people share that, the reason why knowing where somebody's been, so like knowing like that where we've been, that we've been so low, to talk about that super low, it allows the person to say, holy, they've been just as low as me. You know what I mean? Like they don't just see the good, the sober, the this, because then they don't know your backstory. So they go, well, I'm different, like, well, I've done this, and well, I've been to jail, and I'm worse than they were. They weren't as like, and then to say like, holy shit, like this person went through that, like, and look at what they look like. Look at where they are now. That could be me. Do you know what I mean? Like they're connecting the two dots. So I know, and trust me, I know how hard it is to relive.
Mhm.
I just feel like, um, yeah, like the telling of stories, the sharing of stories, just like the healing circle. Um, I feel like it needs, like, doing it on a big scale is almost necessary at this point because nobody's talking about it. Everybody is just demonizing it, just demonizing the addicts, demonizing what they're going through. And we need to bring humanity back to these people because at the end of the day, every one of us is human. And the person that you see right now on the streets, totally strung out, that was the four of us at one point, And
Oh, 100%.
yeah, and we need to see them and say, that's not who that person is, like, at all. We all know that the people that we were on the streets are not our true selves or our heart or who we really are at our core. Um, yeah, so I appreciate you deciding to do this. Like it means the world to me and Raynell, and I know it's hard, and with that being said, like if you want to stop at any time, you are more than welcome to just say, "Hey, I can't."
No, no, I just,
Well, to be perfectly honest too, for me, because of my past history with both you guys in that world,
Yeah.
and countless hours and days and weeks spent together in some kind of weird fashion,
Yeah.
um I was also apprehensive that, okay, well, now these let me just, a quick side note to that is, I've pushed out and created a bubble
Yeah.
Mhm.
for us, for our family,
Totally.
Yeah.
and I protect that bubble at all costs.
Right.
And one of the main, and I know you're probably going to ask the question of recovery, one
Yeah.
of the main things that I tried to do was eliminate everything from that world
Yeah.
out of my peripheral
Yep.
and focus on healing
Yeah.
Right.
and recovering. So for this invite, it's not, I purposely don't have anyone from that existence on my Facebook or in my content, like, for a reason,
Right.
because my well-being meant more to me than anything else.
A
100%.
hundred.
And being healthy and raising our children
Right.
is priority. So
Yes.
it was going back to what I was saying about us discussing not sure about doing this. That was another thing too, was here's two people that were in the thick of it with us,
Yeah.
with me more specifically, but
Yeah.
am I ready?
Yeah.
Am I wanting to go down this path? So yeah, it's
It,
been
yeah,
interesting for the last few days. We've definitely been like,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely a
it's been
big
interesting.
Yeah.
it's a big decision, right? And it's difficult. Like, in Cheyenne, like I was actually just having this conversation not that long ago. Is like I was and still kind of am the exact same way that you guys are explaining. Is like I was just talking to Cheyenne about this
Yeah,
earlier
she
today when we
was.
were going for a ride. Is like I keep my circle so small and so close that like this whole situation, like pursuing this with Cheyenne, like I'm super happy that we're doing this. This needs to be done. But it was hard for me. Like and it
Yeah.
still is. Like I really tried to like I deactivated my old Facebook before and I just reopened it recently because like I just wanted to start everything brand new, all focused just like on the life that I'm trying to build right now because I didn't want to relive those situations. I also have, even in like when I was in treatment and at second stage, like I had a problem with like glamorizing my previous lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, and I would do that for a very long time at the beginning of my recovery, is like only try to remember the really, really good things. And for me, it was like I just really needed to cut everybody off and just focus on the
Yes.
goal and the path forward.
Yeah.
So like right now, like I'm trying to share my experience.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm trying to share my experiences with my previous life, and I've also talked about like how difficult it is to grieve the person that you used to be. At least it was for me, because I didn't know who I was outside of who I used to be. Like that was I wake up whenever I had the opportunity to sleep. Like that was my lifestyle. That's who I was. I didn't even know how to cook for myself. So it's like when you go into recovery, it's difficult to um learn how to live
Yeah.
outside of that. So I understand what you guys are saying. Like it's a
Yeah.
hard decision to bring all these things up that you have let go of a while ago, a long time ago, right?
Right.
So I'm super grateful that you guys are here sharing your experience with us. Like
Yeah.
it certainly means a lot.
And I want to say too, when I first got sober, I did the same thing. I secluded myself. It was COVID, so like I mean, I guess it was kind of easy to seclude myself at that point. But I didn't get Facebook for the first 4.5 years of my sobriety. Like I was dedicated to my
Yeah.
schooling, my children, and the underground gym, and I didn't talk to nobody. Like no one. People would try to come and like I remember I saw one of my friends that's not even in like a part of the drug world, never has been. She was my high school friend. She saw me at Walmart and she says, "Oh my gosh, that's Cheyenne." She's like, "Hi, Cheyenne." And I just kept walking. And my dad said, "She's just not ready yet." Like, yeah, like she's just not ready yet. Like I just and I so I get it. Like I totally get it. And when it was my time to speak, it was my time to speak. And I had a lot of anxiety about my past. Like,
Mhm.
it really was like it caused me a lot of shame. I was feeling a lot of shame. And when I finally decided to get Facebook, and it was actually somebody who was like a really, there was somebody on there, isn't Kyle, and he was like really in your face about addiction. It was like, I'm recovered addict. This is amazing. And I was like, wait, other people are talking about this. Like, I don't need to be ashamed. Like, and it just kind of, and then I started to get a voice and my shame started to disappear about my past, So I felt, yeah, like I just felt like talking was really helping with that too. Like it was helping with my shame of the past and not and feeling like I didn't need to hide it from people. And everybody just kind of knew. And it was just I don't feel like it's something that needs to be shamed. Like everybody's human, everybody has made mistakes. Everybody addiction is something that affects, almost every family and yeah, and I feel but I do understand the healing part of it
Mhm.
and protecting yourself in this bubble because I did it too for a very long time. So I definitely get it. And the third question actually says like you guys started dating while in active addiction. So what did that look like for you and how did you both get sober? And not only that decide to get sober together, you had kind of already touched on that, Ryan, but I remember this distinctly. We were sitting in your truck and you said to me, "Do you know who Kate Chesterman is?" And I said, "I don't know." I'm like, I don't know the name. You have to show me a picture. So he gets on his Facebook and he shows me your picture. And I think we did meet through Jessica Accent a while, like in when I was very first into recovery. So I'm looking at this picture and I'm like, I don't think I
Yeah.
know who that is. And I remember Ryan, you telling me, like I'm in love with her. Like this is a girl that I'm gonna be with her. Like and I was like, what? And you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get sober and we're gonna be together. And I was like, okay, like because like I don't like it was like I didn't know like But and this is not a word of a lie.
Sure
Yeah,
you are.
exactly. And that's exactly what I thought. And I don't know if you remember telling me this because this isn't even a word of a lie. I remember that like clear as day, you asking me if I knew who Kate Chesterman
Oh,
was.
that's funny.
Yeah, and I didn't know, and I was like, I don't think I do know. And you're like, well, she's part of the life, like she's in addiction, but she's doing good now. But that's gonna be my girl. Like we're gonna be together, and I love her, and that's gonna be my girlfriend. And I was like, all right, well, good luck with that.
Do you remember that?
But you know what? And I think
Uh,
that might have been one of the last times I ever saw you too. So, I mean,
And here you are.
and here you are.
I do kind of remember that. Like there was, oh man, literally a year went by in a blink, and I think I slept probably 12 times in the year.
Right.
Like maybe 15.
Yeah.
So it's a complete blur. And then, um, oh, so yes, I do. If we were in my truck,
Yeah.
that means that was after I met her at St. Vincent.
Yep.
So that was 2 years before I even seen her again. She wasn't even like, I didn't even see her. She wasn't around. I didn't know where she was, how to talk to her, how to get in touch with her, nothing.
Yeah.
And I said that, yes,
Yeah. You
I
asked
was
me.
pretty confident.
Oh, you,
Wow.
he loved you from the moment he saw you because he immediately, do you know who this girl is? Like, so that's beautiful. What I kind of wanted to get from you, Kate, if that's okay, if you feel comfortable with it, but
Yes.
from the second question was, how did you see that life? Like I know how me and Ryan saw it because we were kind of on the same level, me and Ryan. I know how Raynell saw it. I was at Raynell's house a whole lot, but I don't know a lot about how you saw it. And I don't mean this in a mean way whatsoever, but I see you as very innocent. And
So,
I don't know if you were innocent in that world, but I would imagine you as being more innocent than we would have been in that world. So I'm just curious how you saw it.
so I was pretty innocent. Like I was just, I would come and go,
Yeah.
like through spots, right? Through houses. And, you wouldn't see me for months at a time or you'd see me for weeks at a time. Totally depends, right? But going, like, I was in active addiction for years,
Yeah.
years and years and years. So,
Would you lead a dual life, you think?
into a life.
Yeah, like your life in addiction and then your life clean throughout, as I know I did.
Yeah.
Like I I would, yeah, definitely I had a dual life. I had a life that was on one lane of the highway and a life that was on the other lane of the highway. And sometimes you would veer off one to the other
Yeah.
throughout decades.
Yeah.
And, so
I think like the most scariest things I saw when I started dating him, right? Like the more serious street stuff.
Yeah.
Um, 'cause there was people that would call him that needed help or whatever, right? And like he was muscle. He was like, I didn't really see any of that stuff before him.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of that. So
oh,
like
Laura, you stink.
our dog just tooted. Sorry.
Oh, mine
They
dog
can't smell it.
worst, worst stinks. Yeah.
Sorry. So
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, like it just like yeah, being with Ride, like that really put an eye opener to a lot of street stuff, right? And
Just thinking about that right now is probably a catalyst to why she wanted to get out of that world.
Yeah.
Because up until then, it was on her terms. It was probably naivety too, being naive in that world. And all of a sudden now you're hooked up with, you know, a gangster,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like a someone that is moments away from either a door being kicked in or going to kick a door in.
Right.
And that's a pretty eye-opening experience.
For sure.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, pretty wild. And like one of the scariest moments was is like a few weeks before we even like decided to quit, um, to get away from that lifestyle. Um, the detective phoned Ryan and was like, "We need to speak with you, right now."
Yeah.
So, uh,
Yeah, I didn't have a choice in the matter. We're coming to find you, or you're coming to see us.
Yeah.
Period.
and they were questioning him that he did a hit on someone.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting in his little red truck. I had sunglasses on because I was up for days. And I remember just flying my sunglasses right off my freaking head. And I'm like, absolutely not. Because I was on camera as well
Yeah.
when, anyways.
Yeah.
So that was like a huge, huge opener, like for me too, was just like, what the frick is
Yeah.
going on here? Like, that's not happen. Like, that's pretty scary shit
Oh,
that
yeah.
a cop is asking if you did a hit on someone. Like,
Yeah.
hello, little wild.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, I think too, I mean, um, the elephant in the room too is I think a lot of is how many times can you drop and survive?
Right. Right. Exactly.
And she witnessed that. I witnessed that in dozens and dozens of people,
Yeah.
and
that too,
and
actually,
she witnessed it
I had to
with
bring
me.
him back to life twice. That was crazy. That was so scary. And I still get flashbacks from that.
It's traumatizing
It's
for sure.
absolutely traumatizing. Um, yeah, like just lots of different things for sure. And like before I even met him, I actually OD'd myself twice. So that was crazy. Unsure how I'm still here. And so that was wild. Um, but yeah, just a lot of different things. And then like a huge thing was I ended up getting pregnant,
Yeah.
and that changed our life. And oh, I'm gonna cry. Sorry.
It's okay. Honey. So yeah, um,
Oh,
that happened, and we had just finished working out of town. I was working out of town in Kenora, and she stayed with me. And then I ended up actually getting the company I was working for to hire her to work for me on that job. So we were attempting to be clean out of town.
yeah.
Yeah.
However, frickin' I had a contact from Winnipeg. I'm sure you might remember who he is. And then I make a call and I drive from Kenora to Winnipeg to go meet with him. And next thing you know, every frickin' 3 nights we're at work and reloading and work. Oh my God, it was madness. And then,
Complete madness.
Yeah.
you know, eventually I lost that job because I
So did I.
was missing time. And, well, you could only
Yeah,
keep up
so
the fake facade for so long.
for sure. I guess so. The big question is, I think we've been talking for like all of these moments and these things leading up to the sobriety. So how did it happen? What was, when did it end? And what did that look like? Like, what was the day? What happened? Like, how did you do it?
Well,
Goes back to that story about the hitman.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we get this. This was kind of the ultimate final straw.
Yeah.
We wanted, and I believe everybody in addiction does
Yeah.
not want to be there.
100%.
Everybody.
It was,
And if they tell you different, they're lying.
Yeah.
Because the first time you use, you want that to be the last time you ever used.
Yeah.
But so we've been trying and trying and trying as a team, as a couple. Okay, we go 2 days, and next week we would go 3 days, and next week we would go 4 days clean. And then, you know what I mean? Building it up and being using less for smaller intervals and saying, okay, we're only going to do this. And you know how that goes. But
Yeah.
there was times where we actually went to bed with money in the pocket and stopped using throughout the evening, kind of thing, day or whatever it was, and say, okay, today's the day. And you make a conscious effort at stopping.
mhm.
But that's a roller coaster ride too. So let's fast forward. I get this phone call. I tell her, I says, we got to fucking go.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean we got to go? I says, I got to go meet a detective at the fucking auditorium parking lot.
Yeah.
Goes, what? Yeah, we're meeting in a fucking public place because I told him I don't want to be railroaded here and frickin'. So we go to the auditorium parking lot. We have this fucking discussion
Mhm.
about when someone got shot in both his legs. I was there half hour later.
Yeah.
Same, you know what I mean? Like this scenario of always being within minutes of a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were caught on camera trying to
Look through the fence
look through a fence to
at
see.
range.
eh,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Anyways, uh, so anyhow, we get a call. I go meet the detective. He's saying, okay, why were you at this location? I said, well, I was checking up on my buddy.
Yeah.
Well, we think you were involved. I says, like, fuck, I was involved. He's my friend. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So they tell us, okay, well, there was a certain vehicle that was witnessed leaving the scene, right? We're
Yeah.
like, okay. We finish the questioning.
Yeah.
We go home to our place, to our apartment,
Yeah.
and that fucking vehicle is in our driveway.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yes, true story.
True story, man.
The guy who we lived with, his people were driving the vehicle.
Yeah.
So we're in this fucking circle of, okay, we live in the same fucking place as this vehicle that was witnessed is at.
Yeah.
And I said, well, let's get the fuck out of here
Yeah. Let's leave right now.
right now.
Yes.
So we just left our shit.
Everything.
We went to a hotel,
Yeah.
right? And we spent a few days doing
Oh, we were there for like over a week,
I guess
week and a half.
we did the
Yeah.
hotel circuit for I guess we were for like a week and a half.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, of course, buddy who owned the house was calling me, well, where are you? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so now I'm dealing. Like this is at the very end of the life of that world.
Yeah.
And I'm peddling dope, right? To maintain our ability to stay in the room and to stay high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just got to the point where we just looked at each other like we were starting to get, oh shit, I remember snapping on her and fucking throwing a bubbler on the floor, and she ended up cutting her fucking foot wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It started becoming pretty fucking dicey in regards to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we said, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to my mom's.
Yeah.
And we're going to fucking go there and get the fuck out of everything.
Yeah.
We walked away from all, and I had just bought all new furniture
Yeah.
for the apartment, couches and TVs and all that, fucking left it all there, everything.
Yeah.
We said, fuck it.
Yeah.
We went to my mom's and we literally didn't get out of bed for 2 weeks while kind of just
Yeah. Yeah.
was, kind of digesting what had just gone on for the last year fucking straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Pretty hard
I
too.
started looking for places to live because now she's pregnant,
Yeah.
right? We're going to start a family.
Yeah.
So it was literally 2 weeks of being clean. I found a house. I managed to find some work in that right before, and I borrowed some money from my mom. We paid first and last. We got a house and never looked back. That
Wow.
was it. We just,
Yeah. And that's, that was huge for us. And that's when I started taking my pregnancy very seriously. And had a midwife, I had my doctor. I'm still very close with my doctor to this day. That, and I told both of them because they're in the same building, and I said, "This is what's been happening," and I was straight up.
Yeah.
I've been using for this long,
Yeah.
and I do not want anyone to take my child away from me
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
and
she was holding herself accountable for the baby too, right? And
I told my doctor, my midwife, I'm like, I'm coming in here every week till I have this baby, and I'm going to pee for you to tell you guys that I'm sober. And it's exactly what I did because I'm like, I'm not getting this baby taken away from me.
Yeah.
And I'll do whatever it takes to do the right thing. Right. So, yeah.
yeah,
Whatever.
That.
for sure. So I've always said it's very easy to get to be clean.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to stay clean.
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's the reality. The first week is, you go through a rough patch.
Yeah.
2 weeks into it, some withdrawals, maybe not. You sleep it out, you eat, and you sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're 3 weeks into it, and it's easy. What happens is 2 months down the road, it comes when you least
Yeah.
expect it. You
It,
turn the corner and there's someone from that world.
yeah.
You walk into somewhere and there's some remnants of someone else was there before. And you walk down the sidewalk and there's a fucking pipe on the sidewalk. Like it comes in the weirdest, craziest ways, and that's when you have to work your hardest.
Yeah.
Is 2 months, 3 months into being clean. And what I noticed even back in the day when we were all using and someone went to treatment and then you run into them or they end up coming into the circle clean
Yeah.
for a day, they come and visit. Oh, I got this licked. I said, never disrespect the power of addiction, man. Don't be cocky. Don't be
Right.
cocky and
Right.
say you got this because you don't got it till you got it.
No.
Yeah.
And sure enough, what happens 3 weeks later? They're on a fucking four-day bender and they're back in the thick of it, right?
So
So we together, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so I was just
We together, we really,
okay.
we're
Just
both,
gonna share a little bit of
you
like
go.
experience that I've had. So I remember like I was in the hospital for 6 months, and then I got because I had endocarditis. So like I was like septic, I was like super sick, I was like on my deathbed. And I remember I started getting day passes and I was
We
at like
all,
I
we
was
all thought you were on your death. We
yeah,
all thought you were on your deathbed. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
because we all knew you very well. We all worried and thought, that's it. Raynell's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
all thought that. Like that was,
oh, for sure. For sure. Cause like I remember when actually that whole situation first happened, I was like at my place in academy and I was just like so delusional. Like I couldn't even put my shoes on. I couldn't like work my hands. Like I was like falling down the stairs because like my body was like so in like infected and sick. Like I was sepsis, right? It was actually one of my friends who like and her boyfriend who loaded me in their vehicle and dropped me off at a merge, or I would never have gone. Like I would have never gone. It was
Yeah.
crazy. And I was like put in and then like an induced coma because I was just like it was wild. Anyways, so I ended up getting, after my certain amount of time at the hospital, I got transferred to St. Joe's, which is pretty close to someone's place. And I got day passes. And I was like, I'm just gonna go say hi to
Oh
everybody.
yeah.
And got kicked out of St. Joe's pretty quickly and
Yeah.
right back in it.
Yeah.
Even though I was like this close, I actually even had my son
Every
come and visit me at the hospital and they were like preparing him for my passing, saying like your mom's gonna be an angel. And I still put myself in those scenes
Oh
and
my
like
God.
it actually like makes me want to cry because like I
Yeah.
just remember holding him when he was like they were preparing him for me to not be around anymore. And I thought I was like in the hospital for 6 months. I'm fine. I'm just gonna go say hi to my friends. Just like 2 seconds in there, I'm like kicked out of St. Joe's and right back at it, like not like I'd never left,
Yeah.
right? So it is like it's so important to change like the people, places, and things, right? Like you can't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to touch on that what she just said because what I think a vast majority of addicts and users they experience is there is no limit to how far you will go for that pursuit.
Right.
Totally.
And that's the issue in that world
Yeah.
is there's no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no um, off switch. There's no
No.
you're like a robot.
Yeah.
You're a you're driven for one purpose and doesn't matter what kind of who you hurt, what you do to yourself, who's in the way. It's just it's a 100% driven, focused pursuit.
Yep.
And what Raynell was saying proves it. We've all proved it.
Oh yeah.
We've all gone to the absolute depths of insanity
Yeah.
to achieve a goal, which was to, get a little pebble,
Yeah.
Yeah.
some kind of link to another dimension of being high every day. And yeah, it's devastating, is what it is. It's so devastating.
Yeah.
Well, and I also
And
think in those particular situations is like you can remove the substance out of your life, but if you actually don't address the underlying issues that brought you there originally, at least for my situation, is like I've gone to recovery several different times, or I've gotten sober several different times. One of the times is when I also got pregnant with my son, and I got on a maintenance program and I got all my carries because I was like, I am doing this for him. Like, but I never actually spent any time healing any of my underlying traumatic situations that brought me into substance use to numb it and escape all of that pain. I never actually dealt with any of that stuff. So I relapsed like 2 years after I have my son, and everything is beautiful moving forward, but I never actually addressed any of the underlying issues. So I always just fell right back into it.
And what I think people don't understand is
Yeah.
like we had said, we started off as like kids, you dabble and whatever, and you're kind of maybe you're not feeling the greatest in high school, you're like a little bit on the outskirts, or you have a little bit of depression, you have a little bit of anxiety, you do a line, it feels good. But what you had been talking about the depths, like when
Mhm.
you're it's a kill or be killed in order to get that pebble, that rock, the trauma, the we get there because the trauma builds on that. Like it doesn't just go from, you're completely a 100% sober individual, you smoke one crack rock and then you are like
it's
you're in that, kill or be
it's
killed.
exponential.
Yeah, exactly. And the trauma just piles and piles and piles and piles to the point where you have gone through so much in that world and so much in the drug world that you can't even fathom for more than 10 seconds of reality, because it all comes crashing down on you when you look around you and you say, where the fuck am I and what the hell is going on? Like, like you can't even come to that reality because it's just, you don't even know. Like,
Yeah.
I think people don't understand the type of world that is and how much trauma you get from that. So that's really what. And another thing, when you said something hits you like like a bus 2 months into it, that's another thing that hits you like a train, like you're like, holy crap, like look at all the stuff I've been through and look at all the stuff that I've done and all that. And it's so hard to that's where the real work
Windows are probably
in.
blowing in the house.
Yeah. Is
Well,
it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Back to recovery,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I just want to touch on how some of the things that I did uh in my recovery was um I think the first and foremost biggest thing that happened to me was the day that I realized I was an addict. When I admitted to myself that I am an addict.
Yeah.
And that was after 25 years of use
Yeah.
where I wasn't an addict
Yeah.
at all. However, I clearly was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as are many of my buddies that I partied with throughout the life. We were all were,
Yeah.
but nobody admitted it. Nobody. It was hidden enough that you were able to get away with it.
Right.
Um, it wasn't until I realized, okay, yeah, that's when it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Well, now what?
Right.
My whole life I wasn't an addict. Now I am, and I'm admitting it to myself. So I spent a long time healing myself within being messed up and being clean, being messed up, being clean. And what I was doing was almost like concentrated orange juice. I had such 5 days straight of being up. It gave me 5 full days of thinking about why I'm doing this and how do I fix this and how do I countless hours of trying to figure myself out.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot about myself in that time frame, in that life, in that world. And it's funny, going towards like her and I's relationship, I had got to a point post divorce that I was through all kinds of ups and downs. And as I was healing myself, um, I asked myself one night, laying down, I'm like, are you ready to be in another relationship?
Mm-hmm.
And I started weighing pros and cons, and I said, no, I'm not ready. To myself,
Yeah.
right? Not that I was looking for a relationship. I just was asking myself that because I was trying to heal.
Yeah.
So then I got deeper into it. I would run into this person that had experience, whatever. I'm in the sauna at a gym, and I'm talking to the guy in the sauna, and turns out he's a therapist. We start chatting. I gathered all this intel from all kinds of different areas of expertise, and I just it was like I just took snippets of here, and I created my own recovery program.
Yeah.
And I started trying to heal myself
Mhm.
and forgiving the last person I forgave was myself.
Yeah.
And that was the hardest one.
It's
And as I was going through, yeah, it's crazy because there's so much shame. There's so much guilt and shame,
yeah.
So much shame.
right? Because I really did damage to my relationship with my children.
Right.
And I still to this day fucking kills me.
Yeah.
There's not a minute that goes by I don't think about it and how selfish and ruthless I was
Right.
for doing that,
Oh yeah.
So it took a long time for me. And I wasn't able, like you were saying, the trauma, dealing with the trauma of all this in your life, I wasn't able to even think about um, recovery until I dealt with all my trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
For 30 years prior to that, I had to deal with it and forgive certain people, forgive, 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 forgive. I got to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I forgive myself for everything I've done up to this point in my life? And I would say yes. And then right away, I'm like, fuck no, I'm not even close yet.
Yeah.
A month would go by and I'd ask myself again, and another month. And once I finally said yes, I had to stick to it. I said, okay, I can't go back on this. I have to fucking stand by my decision that I forgave myself and move forward and figure out how the fuck to deal with the problems I caused everywhere throughout my existence and start addressing them. Right.
Really
So,
powerful.
yeah, I fully get.
That's really
Yeah.
powerful. The forgiving yourself, like, and Kate, I want to like commend you for your really emotional account of, your pregnancy and sharing that with us because that's so personal and so deep to you. And I know like that's something that you had to forgive yourself for. And there's things that you've had to forgive yourself for. And that's something I've had to forgive myself for is, giving up. I had to give up my children. I knew they weren't in a safe environment and I made the call. I put them in foster care. And that was like to forgive yourself for something like when it comes to your own children is the hardest thing somebody could possibly do, especially as a mother or as a father. And yeah, so I feel like it's just I feel like I really want to thank you for sharing that. That was really vulnerable of you to share and powerful.
Mhm.
Um yeah,
Thank you. I
yeah,
still get very emotional even talking to him about like our past and uh, everything about that. Like when I found out and when I still used and everything, it just breaks my heart to this day, you know? So it's thank you. Thank you for that.
yeah, like that. It really
That's
blows my mind. Like yeah, you're a very strong woman.
that's the dance we do in recovery is exactly that. You're dancing with guilt
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll never leave you,
right.
but trying to navigate forward and not let it consume you.
Exactly.
That's we all do that dance every fucking day
Exactly.
because the guilt is always there. And
The
then
guilt.
if you see your child, you look at your child and it just fucking pains you.
Yeah.
Why? Why did I do that? And there is no fucking answer. That's the killer. There's no answer
There
to
is
it. Why? I
there is
don't fucking know.
there is no answer, but what I truly believe is the antidote, what I truly believe is the solution in this is what we are doing right now as a group. And that is completely telling somebody, I understand your that was a powerful statement. Thank you for sharing like compassion and empathy, support, truly feeling for that person, like truly putting yourselves in their heart and in their shoes and crying their tears for them, taking some of that guilt from them. Do you know what I mean? Like, um, the shared experience. That's what I think is the true antidote. I think that when you, like I said in one of my videos once, like shame and guilt breeds in dark places. And it's when you feel alone in the dark that it festers and it festers. But
Oh
when,
yeah.
yeah, but when you come together and you feel included and loved and understood and cared for, everybody deserves that no matter what age you are. It's not just children that need that, it's adults, it's people that are vulnerable, it's people that have been through a lot. That's what I believe is what's lacking is that, and I think that that's what will help. Like that's what helps with the guilt and the shame is somebody saying, I've been there, I've done that, I understand, like, just
Yeah.
the empathy and the support. And yeah, I think it's I
And
think it's really beautiful
you're
that
100% right. You're 100% right, Cheyenne. And I think that the four of us, we're all pretty much almost to the day clean for the same amount of time, like
right.
very close. I think we all was about the same time. We all took that road, and here we are, 5+ years later,
Yeah.
um, clean. And
Yeah.
I think we have to figure out how to bridge the gap between people like us today and people like us 5, 7 years ago.
Mhm.
Exactly.
How do we bridge that gap,
Because how
right? How
how
do we get them out of that world and back to where we are?
exactly.
Because I tell people all the time, especially people that are in active addiction, like, because I have, someone very close that is in active addiction. And um, it's, like, it's so much easier being clean.
Oh
You
yeah.
think it isn't. You think that the drug is an escape and it's easy. And it is for the first day,
Yeah.
first 6 hours. And then every minute, every second after that, it's living fucking hell.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
Every fucking minute
yeah.
Yeah.
for the whole time that you stop.
And who would have thought? Like I don't know how long we've been recording, but I'm gonna end it on a note of who would have thought 6 or 7 years ago, if somebody would have told us that we would have been on a podcast talking about our
Uh,
clean time of 5 years as you two as a couple with how many three? You have three together, correct? Now?
3 kids, yeah.
Three
Three
kids
kids
and
now.
Yeah.
living a
Yeah.
Yeah.
beautiful, sober life together, living life to its fullest in all of its glory. And me and Raynell, 5 years sober, doing a pot, like we would have said, oh, like, like
Not
there's
a chance.
fucking
Not
no
a
way,
chance.
like this never.
Not a, so,
So we're telling
oh
you,
man,
like,
not a chance.
not a
Not a
No,
chance,
chance.
not
fuck.
a chance, not a chance.
Not a chance. Not a chance. Like, just for any one of us to own a phone long enough, let
Yeah,
alone a fucking do a podcast.
Right though.
right though, like for us to hold on to one possession for more than a day, like,
Right? Isn't
yeah,
it crazy? Like,
I think I left.
oh,
I think I left the vehicle out front of your fucking place in Academy for fucking months. Right now, I would fucking left it there.
You did.
yeah,
Walked away from.
yeah. So
Fuck. Shit on it.
So really, so for anybody watching this, I know we got off topic and talked about a lot of really great things, but what I want people to get out of this is like every one of us here, all four of us would have told you not in a million years would we be here today sitting here talking like this. So we know where you're at and we know that it's possible. And I know for me and Raynell and I, you can reach out anytime to hear our story or anything that you would need to just give you that hope. And I hope that this episode gives somebody hope and somebody that is stuck in that life and does and thinks that they're the most hardcore one and they've done the most hardcore and they're stuck there. Like, I'm telling you, the most hardcore ones are out, so like
Yeah.
if we can do it, so can you.
So wild, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
100%.
Yeah.
so I just want to end
Well,
it with,
I
is there
honestly.
anything that you guys want to say to our viewers? That's how we want to end it. Is there any, I know it's probably the bugs are getting you and it's getting dark, and is there
Oh
anything
yeah,
you
we're
want to
getting
leave
eaten
them with?
alive.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, you want to say anything?
Anything you want to say, Kate, to anybody that's watching?
Just stay strong, man, and do it. Like, drugs are so scary nowadays.
Yes.
Like, it's just not worth, like, it's not worth it, man.
Yeah.
And like Ryan was saying, like, we have a loved one that's still in active addiction. And it's just, you can only say so much to a person, but you got to want to do it and just do it, man. Like life is so much better sober.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like we have food in the fridge. We have, like
yeah, we
it's
100% living a very, very
it's worth
healthy,
You're worth
happy,
it.
productive life. Genuinely,
Right.
not, there's no fakeness to it. Genuinely, I'm genuinely happy.
That's it.
And I'm not happy because of her. I'm happy because of me
Right.
and what I've done.
Right.
I'm happy with her,
Yeah.
but that she's not why I'm happy. And I believe the same for her. And for the biggest thing is you have to want to be sober more than you want to be high.
Right.
And really, that's what it boils down to. Every single day on that journey, you have to ask yourself, do I want to be high today or do I want to be sober today? And you know, you just have to, like Raynell was saying, find your trauma and kick the fuck out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Remove your trauma,
Exactly.
you'll remove your addiction.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Period.
And it,
And it took me 25 years to figure out, or more, 30 fucking years to figure out what my trauma was.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I dealt with it.
Yep.
It wasn't until I dealt with it until then, I wasn't able to give up addiction.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's honest, that's the truth.
And you get
You
to a
know,
Keep your circle small
yeah.
and you know, it's oh
Yeah.
yeah, get sober, man. Best.
That's
It
so
really is.
as far as being a couple doing it, as far as being a couple, we'll touch on that again. As far as being a couple,
okay, hi everyone. I know that that episode ended abruptly, out of nowhere. My computer ended up dying, right at the end of the episode, but we just wanted to jump on and add a little thank you to Ryan and Kate for their story. I know that they've kept it very close to their hearts, close to they've held it safe for a long time, and Ryan actually just sent a message saying that it was very liberating to be on the show. So, um, thank you. Thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for your story.
Thank you for taking the opportunity to share with us. It means a lot to both of us, to Cheyenne and I both, that you guys felt comfortable and willing to share your experiences with us and our audience. So we really hope that you guys enjoy this episode. It's super powerful. So
Definitely.
thanks for being here with us.
Yes. Bye. Thanks, guys. Oh, Arthur.